Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today. My name's Rachel Harrison Sund, and I have built a successful six-figure self-publishing business, publishing low-content books on Amazon. And this is going to be a new video series that I'm doing. It's low-content book publishing for beginners. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about 6 ways to come up with low-content publishing ideas. So if you're a brand new beginner at this, stick around and I'm going to be sharing some tips with you on how to generate some profitable ideas. So first off, if you're just starting out, I do recommend starting with a simple lined journal. Now, lined journals are not going to be the most profitable low-content book that you produce, but I do recommend starting out with it because it is by far the easiest one to start off with. And with your very first book, you don't necessarily need to be worried about making sales right out of the gate. You just want to learn the process and just get a feel for what it's like to publish that first book. So that is why I do recommend starting with a simple lined journal. So when it comes to coming up with ideas for your books, the first thing I always like to do is just a brain dump. So you're just going to sit down with your trusty old pen and notepad, and you're going to think of a broad low-content book idea. In this case, like I said, if you're just starting out, I do recommend starting with a lined journal. And just sit there with that pen and think about all of the different variations that you can think of when it comes to lined journals. So just different themes, lined journals for women, lined journals for men, dog journal, cat journal, camping journal, however many different versions of that you can think of, the better. And I mean, you really want to come up with a couple dozen ideas at least at this point. Just think as broadly as you can and try and get creative. I know it sounds simple, but it really is a good way to just get all of your ideas out there onto paper. The second idea is to just consider hobbies and interests. So start off with your own hobbies and interests. What types of things are you in? Are you a hunter? Are you a camper? Are you really into animals? Think of all those different hobbies and interests, that you could think of that might align with a lined journal. If you're a camping enthusiast or an outdoor enthusiast, maybe you could think up a camping journal. Going back to hunting, maybe you could think of doing a hunting logbook or something like that. So once you've gone through all of your own hobbies and interests, then expand that circle outward a little bit and think about hobbies and interests of your family and friends. Do you have any family members that have any obscure interests? Oftentimes, the more obscure the hobby or interest, the better, because they tend to be things that people that aren't interested in those hobbies don't even think about. So those can often lead to untapped niches. And then, of course, when you're done thinking about your own hobbies and interests and those of your family and friends, you can branch out even further and just jot down any hobbies and interests that you can come up with at all. So the third place to find ideas is the bookstore. I know it sounds simple, but it is a great place to get ideas, and you can either do this online or you can actually go to a physical bookstore, because yes, they do still exist, and it is great to just get off your duff, get into a bookstore, pick up some actual journals in your hand, and the main purpose of this is to just see what is selling. See if you can pick up on any current trends or anything like that. So that's one of the places, that's one of the ways that I like to get ideas. I absolutely love journals and notebooks, so if I'm at a store that sells them, I always gravitate to that department anyways. And I just really love checking out what is selling currently. The fourth place that I love to get ideas is trending slang, catchphrases, popular expressions, and memes. So this one has been really huge for me. The biggest successes that I have had have been just using popular catchphrases and slang words on the covers of any of the books that I do, whether it be journals, day planners, anything like that. So people love anything that makes them laugh, snarky humor, anything like that. Those tend to sell really, really well. So pay attention to the way that people talk. If you have kids, listen to them and listen to some of the things that they are saying. They are a gold mine of ideas in that regard. Look at t-shirts that have catchy sayings on them, internet memes, anything like that. So that is generally always a gold mine for ideas. So definitely pay attention to that stuff. The fifth way to come up with ideas is to just start combining seemingly random niches. So you can start with a list of broad, low-content book niches in one column and a bunch of random themes in another column, and just start jamming them together and see what happens. So, maybe in one list you've got a prayer journal, and then in your list of themes you've got cats. What about a cat-themed prayer journal? That's something that, most people might not have thought of, but when you start throwing these ideas together, sometimes you can come up with some really neat, new, not been done before twists on some really kind of played out niches. And the final way I've got for you today on how to come up with ideas for your low content books is to just head straight over to Amazon and start browsing. But there are a couple of different ways you can do this, so I'm just going to flip the screen now and I'm just going to show you how I like to browse Amazon when I'm trying to come up with new ideas. Okay, so before we head over to Amazon, what we're going to do is we're going to open up an incognito window in Chrome. And the reason we're going to do that is that it's just going to remove any search bias when we head over to Amazon. So basically we're going to be starting off with a clean slate, and it's not going to incorporate any of your past search history into the results that it offers up to you. So you're going to open up a new Chrome window. You're going to go to the top right and you're going to click New Incognito Window. And then we are just going to head over to Amazon. Okay, so we're going to use Amazon's search bar here, and we're just going to take one of your ideas. So let's use the example of a line journal. So suppose you want to do a line journal and you're trying to look for some line journal ideas. So when you type in line journal, you're going to get a list of all of the related keywords that people have actually searched for in Amazon. So that's obviously very helpful. Now what we're going to do, just to kind of speed up the process a little bit, we're going to start taking screenshots of the drop down as they appear, and then we're going to go through that later and just sift through to find any of these ideas that we actually would like to use. So all of these words that are coming up in the drop down here are potential ideas for us to use. So right now, as we look down the list, we could see line journals to write in for women, line journals for kids, line journal large. Any one of those could be an idea that we pursue. So we're just going to take a screenshot of this list. So if you're on a Mac, that's Shift Command 4. And I think on a PC it is Shift Alt 4. Correct me if I'm wrong. So even just adding that space, that gives us a few extra words to look at here. So again, you can do another screenshot there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to just move down the entire alphabet. So we're going to start with A, and nothing's really coming up there, so we'll just go back and then we'll try B. So you can see the list is just changing with every single letter that we type in here. So we've got line journal boys, line journal brown. So again, you want to be taking screenshots of each of these drop-down lists, and you can just see it change as I type in all the different letters here. So once you've gone through the entire alphabet and you've got all your screenshots, you can just open up those screenshots and you can jot down any ideas that you would like to pursue. And then when you've got that nice list, you can start back at the beginning of that list and you can type it in the search bar again. So I've already got this open, so I'm just going to go ahead and click on Line Journal for Women. And at this point, I am going to go into the books department, and that is just going to help weed out all the other items that aren't paperback books. You will get some spiral bounds, but basically we want to be looking at the paperbacks because that is the type of book that we are going to create. So those are our direct competition. So we're just browsing at this point. We're just kind of getting a feel for what's out there, seeing what ideas we can come up with. So for example, there's a lot of books with various catchphrases on them. So I might start thinking about catchphrases. Lots of colorful patterns, floral motifs, that sort of a thing. So you can just click through a few pages and just see if that sparks anything for you. Another thing I like to do to get ideas is if I see a journal that I really like this one's kind of cool, I'll just click on the author, and that will take me to that author's author page, and now I can just scroll through their catalog and see what other things they've done. So let's see here. So for example, we're looking at line journals for women, but I see that they've done a birthday journal, so that could be an idea. Okay, so they've also got a holiday planner. So that's completely unrelated to what we were looking at, but it could be an idea for the future, so I might want to jot that down. So remember, when you're doing this, you obviously don't want to be copying other people's exact designs, but just to get ideas for general niches to get into, it can be a nice way to uncover a popular niche. I mean, you could be sifting through here and you might find a book that's a bestseller, and that might tip you off that, okay, now I'm on to a popular niche. Another thing you can do is you can just head right over to the books department and just simply browse through all of the different available categories. So I'm scrolling down to books here, and I'm just going to click on the first category, arts and photography, and I'm just going to see what's there. So you've got the bestsellers listed right off the bat here. And, you can see that there's a few different journals. So there's this gratitude journal that's ranked insanely well. This is 466 in the entire store, which is just bonkers. You've got some adult coloring books. And you don't necessarily need to be looking for just journals. I mean, any book on this list could spark some sort of an idea for some sort of low content book. So yeah, basically you can just click through all of the different categories and just see what's there and just see what kind of ideas are sparked for you. Alright guys, thanks for watching today. If you'd like a complete walkthrough of the entire low content book publishing process, then be sure to check out my free guide, 3 Steps to Publishing Your First Low Content Book in Less Than a Day. I will leave a link to that in the description below. For other low content book publishing tips, you can always check out my blog at rachelharrisonsund.com. And of course, if you found this video useful, hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified for the next video that comes out in this series. So stay tuned. Thanks again.